Hello everyone, it's Wednesday. Welcome to Rose and Carter Do the JOB. Big event / pay-per-view / some kind of show, kind of review day. Today we've gone a bit different with some kind of fan cam kind of thing that I discovered on YouTube from Munich in Germany. WWF Summer Tour of 1993, Munich, Germany, from the 1st of August. Bully boy, you know, if I went to any tour show, I didn't go to this one, but I did come to England. I found results from exactly the same results from the English version of the tour from like the week after. 4th of August, they were in Wembley, so like 3 days after this.
Okay.
If I went to any tour ever, I'd be really quite happy with this.
Yeah, I would as well.
You?
Yeah, definitely.
It was, you know, it was star-studded. It had a bit of everything in it. And Hogan topped it off, which was pretty rare, you know. To see Hogan on those shows, I guess, was pretty rare, wasn't it?
Well, I thought Hogan was gone by this point. Like,
by all accounts, this was it. This was the last Hogan run, the last Hogan tour.
Yeah, because I didn't even know about this tour really until you told me about it. But because I thought Hogan was done in June at King of the Ring, you know, when that was when he dropped the title to Yoko, then didn't he? And that was that. That was like, as far, you know, from a fan's point of view, that was it, the end of Hogan. Like, but I really didn't know about this tour, and I especially didn't know
don't know anything else he did in America, but you know, I guess having Hogan on a tour in Europe is going to draw even. It would have drawn anyway because fucking WWF was massive in Europe then, so they would have done all right. But Hogan was just that little bit of extra sales, I suppose, wasn't it?
I mean, he was in WCW the year after, wasn't he? Like 94.
Yeah.
So it must have, like,
So that, you know, no messy time wise.
No.
He didn't have long off, did he?
No, not at all.
There were 7 matches. Can't fault many of them, other than one that I didn't really enjoy, but that's Beefcake's fault. It started with Tito Santana, the Matador, versus the Predator, who was Horace Hogan.
Right, yeah, I didn't know who that was, so I just fucking wrote Tito versus ? Because I didn't know who it was, but I fucking enjoyed the match though. I really did.
I mean, Horace looked better there than he did any time in WCW.
Yeah, I'd agree. I didn't know it was Horace at the time, but
I think just I like researched the show, right, the tour really, and the fact that Beefcake and Jimmy Hart were there, favour to Hogan, and Horace being there, favour to Hogan, it wasn't going to affect their American business. The European people are still going to see what they see as American wrestler, and it's going to help Horace learn against Tito. Fucking hell, imagine wrestling Tito every day for 2 weeks. How can you not learn something?
Yeah,
it's a shame he didn't actually take what he learned and take it anywhere else.
But yeah, it was the opener was really good, really, really good. In fact, one of my favorite matches out of the whole lot, to be honest. And I put on it, like I said, like any show anywhere in the world, like Tito's just the perfect guy to open, like any show, because it's just like, and it's not like a dig at him, it's just a great place to be, and it's like, it's a compliment really, because you opener, a lot of people, I always hear a lot of people not really want it. Opener is a fucking great spot to be in, like it really is. Like,
it's as important as the main event.
It's very, very important. Yeah, like it's a lot more important than the second match. Like I remember reading something on Facebook. It was Rip Rogers had put something, and he said something, and I couldn't agree more. Like it was, you can always have a shit second match, but you don't want your first match to be shit. You know what I mean? Because that's the first one that they're gonna, gonna see.
First impression, isn't it?
Yeah. So you can have a great opener, and you can kind of get away with the second match being a bit fucking poo.
Because at least the last one was all right, and the next one's probably all right. You know?
Yeah, that's it. But no, Tito's the ideal guy to put in the opener, and it was a hell of an opener. Perfect opener, to be honest.
He's so reliable. He can wrestle anyone. He looks great. He's got that star power because people know who he is because he's on telly, or he was at the time, all the fucking time. Yeah, like he puts everybody over really well. I've seen matches on TV of him and like fucking Tom Stone and No Name, and he still gets like 7-8 minutes out of it. He sells for everybody. He's just fucking. He's spot on, any really.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like yeah, he's just
the crowd for this all the way through. To be fair, were fucking red hot, weren't they?
Yeah. In fact, I wrote that. I wrote that somewhere, like on my notes, saying that literally the crowd were great, like all throughout. And like I think German fans are always like that as well. Like because the last podcast we done when I watched that match in Milan and they were fucking horse shit. But like Germany's the total opposite. Like such a
Germany got a lot of good wrestling at the time as well because they would have had CWA, Otto Vance's promotion. Potentially in the same fucking venues, to be fair, because he used to do, big venues through 80s and 90s. The next match, Papa Shango and Owen Hart, they would have both been there at one point. Papa Shango and Jim Duggan, who's on this show, wrestled each other on CWA shows in big venues in '94. So to think, that they were used to that star power and they knew what to do with wrestling. Like when the Italians might not have known quite what to do so much, like what we spoke about last week. If that's the first time they've seen live wrestling, they're going to be sat on their hands because they're not sure what to do. Not sure how to be a crowd. A couple of good spots I saw in this, right? So very simple, but something really unusual. Horace gets atomic dropped, he hits the ropes, and then gets hip tossed. Like I've seen atomic drop and sell the shit out of it, or atomic drop, and like when Ted DiBiase got atomic dropped and he goes out the ring, that kind of thing. But he got atomic dropped and went straight into the ropes into a hip toss. So I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
The finish was pretty much just fucking fire, posting, boot up, more fire, drop kick, 2 slams, fucking knee lift, forearm. It was all Tito, to be fair, but yeah, cracking opener, winner.
Yeah.
Next was Papa Shango and Owen Hart, which when we did King of the Ring the other week.
Yeah,
that was the dark match. So they'd clearly been wrestling each other. And that was the USWA Championship, weren't it, in the dark match?
Yeah.
So they would have wrestled each other a hell of a lot. And it shows because I thought this was really fucking crisp. You know what I mean? Like,
this was
Papa Shango looked amazing. Owen Hart was great. I really enjoyed it.
You know what? As well, like, I'm probably in the minority. I know it sounds a bit silly, but like Papa Shango is actually my favorite gimmick that he done. Out of all of his gimmicks that he's had, I fucking love that gimmick. I know it was a bit cheesy here and there, and some of the shit that he'd done was a bit like the shit with the Warrior, and that was a bit fucking over the top cartoony. But as a character, I really like the Papa Shango gimmick so much. Fucking, I know everyone raves about the Godfather because that's probably what he's mostly known for, which I enjoyed as well. And you had like Karma and that, but Papa Shango to me was a fucking great gimmick. To be honest, loved it.
A slower start to the other one.
Yeah.
Fucking Papa Shango missed a dropkick. I don't think I've ever seen Papa do a dropkick before.
No, probably after he missed that one, he fucking didn't bother again.
But there was a right good spot as well. Fucking Owen does the baseball slide, feeds the leg to Papa Shango into the Insiguri. Pretty common thing, but it looked so fucking good that I kind of made a note of that. Owen Hart had plenty of comebacks. Do you know what I did notice about the whole show, this show? Every fucking match had at least 2 postings, run and fucking boot to the face, at least 2. Every fucking match did.
There was quite a few eye rakes as well throughout the course of the
There was,
show.
to be fair, yeah. If I would have had a counter in the corner for boots to the fucking chops off the corner, there would have been a good fucking 15 in the show. The finish was pretty standard, but it was very over, and it worked a treat, with a fucking Owen crossbody, and then Popper did the little roll through, and Popper was home.
Right, yeah.
Anything else stand out?
Not really. I've not wrote a lot for this match. I've just put I like the start with the fucking Owen always cracks me up when he does that fucking chicken fucking thing with this fucking yeah. I don't know why, because like loads of people do it, but for some reason I just crack up when like Owen does it. But no, I haven't really wrote too much for it. I wrote it was a fun match, and also it was the only match on the card, I believe, where the heel went over. Everything else was a face. The only heel.
I didn't think of
that. So, but yeah, no, it was a fun match. Good match.
Number 2 was Bam Bam Bigelow and Papa Shango. No, fucking Papa Shango. I've got him on my mind. Tatanka. Bam Bam Bigelow and Tatanka.
Number 3, yeah?
Number 3, yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
I thought it was odd at the start. Fucking Tatanka jumps Bam Bam. Not the villain doing the dirty, but I don't make the rules. And then there was a fucking Tatanka dive through the ropes. Boom, that Bam Bam.
Yeah.
That got me a little bit fucking shocked. It was like Big Man and lesser Big Man. I mean, Tatanka's a fucking beast, isn't he? But he was a lot smaller than Bam Bam. But it was your typical big against little, weren't it? With the fucking 2 clotheslines and the stagger and all that shit. Yeah, it was all right. This. I put boots in the corner times 3,000 because there was plenty of them. Fucking Bam Bam had him up for the Samoan drop, and he sort of slipped down into the sunset flip. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Fucking Bam Bam could move, couldn't he?
He could. I even wrote in my notes here that he's possibly my favorite big man as far as like the complete package goes. Out of it all, I'm a big fan of like big wrestlers, and Bam Bam I thought was fucking phenomenal. Such a great heel as well. I always thought that. I never really thought he should be a face. I know he had like periods as a face, but to me, he's just got that fucking natural heel like about him. Yeah, you know what I mean. And yeah, he could move for a big dude, couldn't he? Fucking real good. Yeah.
What I noticed something here that I don't think they do now. When Bam Bam had the chin lock on, I fucking love a chin lock. People say a rest hold, and I fucking hate the term rest hold because it's a resting hold. You fucking idiot.
Grinds my gears. That does. I've even heard I've even heard commentators say it on commentary. Fucking daft fucking bastards. Yeah. Like literally, why would you say that? It's like, they just rested now. You know what I mean? Yeah. Fucking idiots. But yeah.
It's a wrestling hold. If you work it, it's a wrestling hold. The idea is to put some fucker in it and either knock them out, make them submit, or pin the fuckers. That's the whole idea of the game, right?
Ain't no fucking
from wrestling. A shoot point of view.
Yeah.
So why would you not put someone in a chin lock for the whole fucking match if you can get away with it? If it's working, you can fucking do it. But you know what I don't see, and I have I've got the network now, so I have had a look at some of the newer shit, right? And they don't do the arm when you fucking raise the arm.
Yeah.
That seems to have got knocked on the head. I don't know whether that's an official fucking rule or whether it's just something that they just don't fucking choose to do anymore, or it's not the dumb thing. But I really like it, fucking.
Yeah, I like that. I fucking still do it in my matches all the time.
It should stick. It should fucking. It's a heat generator, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's very simple and it's fucking. Yeah, I love it. What's the finish of this?
It's a count out, isn't it?
Oh, here we go. Yeah, Samoan on the floor. Fucking bollocks. Have
that. Yeah.
Tatanka does his finish, doesn't it? Fucking on the floor. Bam Bam gets counted out.
Yeah.
Bam Bam jumps him after. and then comes in with scissors. Where the fuck? Where did he get scissors from? And why would he want to cut his fucking hair? Because is that not Brutus's job later on in the show?
Yeah, I didn't even see the scissors part. I must have fucking switched off or been doing something or whatever. I must have missed that part. I seen him come back in, but
I did notice Tony Garea at ringside. You know, as the agent. You know, during the fucking scuffle when they all pull him apart, it was just the referees and Tony Garea. It's always nice to see Tony Garea.
Yeah.
Number 4, Steiner tag team title: Steiner Brothers versus the Head Shrinkers. I think these are two teams with really fucking good chemistry because they're both like the Head Shrinkers don't mind fucking bumping about and being, you know, having it late a little bit hard. I think that they're made to be together, these two teams, aren't they, really?
It's funny you say that because on my notes right here, I've actually put it really flows and they've got great chemistry. I actually wrote that down.
Great chemistry. Exactly what I've written. Great chemistry.
I would show you mine, but it looks more like fucking Chinese, my writing, to be fair. But it's in there somewhere, but yeah.
Another thing I've put is Samu does most of the work. I don't know whether Fatu was fucking poorly or got a baddie, but fuck me, Samu does everything. And Fatu had the night off. You know, like Fatu takes fucking 4 million bumps, 8 million suplex, and then Fatu comes in and does a test of strength and tags.
Feels like fucking my matches with John. I'm fucking Samu.
Where are we now? Samu bites fucking Scott's head. Typical tag heat, which I fucking love. Massive fan of tag wrestling. And when it's done as right as these can do it, then it's fucking brilliant. Another fucking boot for the chops, of course, to Scott, because that's necessary in every one of these matches. I've put information. Samu is good. Samu is fucking fabulous. Like Fatu went on to do so much more. You know, when he did the thing where he started wearing boots, didn't he? And then he did the thing. He was the Sultan, and then fucking the Head Shrinker with the Barbarian before that, weren't it?
That's what I was going to say, actually. When did the Barbarian thing come about? I'm a bit getting confused with the whole timeline. Who was it? Who went on? Because these were the original Head Shrinkers, is that right? Yeah?
Yeah.
And then...
Like before this, they were there with their Samoan SWAT team, weren't they, in WCW?
Right, yeah.
And then they came here as the Head Shrinkers. And then for some reason, I don't know why, but Samu went and Sione, wasn't it? The Barbarian came in.
Right, yeah. So it was
must have been the year after this, I would say. Either later this year or the year after.
Right, okay, yeah.
And then he did Fatu found his, got boots, didn't he? And then fucking tights with the different colours on. Anti-drugs campaign. All that shit.
All right.
Then he was the Sultan. Then he was the Quiche. He was in Memphis for a bit. I think he was RJ Smooth just before he became Rikishi as well.
All right, okay.
But yeah, he went on to do so much more than Samu. But if I had to pick a head shrinker to I don't know whether to learn from or to book as a worker, Samu would be the one.
Yeah.
You know, I think Samu did more before now than Fatu did, and Fatu went on to do more after.
Yeah.
In class, anyway. I fucking love him. I do, really good. His matches in Canada from like mid '80s, '86-ish maybe, with Dino Bravo in Montreal was fucking. The finish, double noggin knockout, no Sal, fucking boom, give one to Rick. The end result really was some kind of roll up thing and a fucking washing line to Fatu. Very simple thing, kind of cheating, but there's been a lot of cheating going on, so it's the Steiners getting their payback in it.
Yeah, and also it's the only fucking tag on the show, so really, like a real simple finish like that will work anyway. Like it was just it went over a treat, to be honest, and it's kind of finish that I like to do in tag matches. Simple as fuck, especially if you're the only tag on the show. You know what I mean? Don't need to do anything else, do you? So.
There was another jump on this as well, like after the match. But the Steiners kind of chased them off, and away they go, and the Steiners can celebrate as still the tag team champions. Yeah, good. 5. The way I saw match number 5 was after match number 4, there was a break. That's how I saw it. There must have been a break, and match number 5 was just something they put on slow as people came back from buying popcorn. Because out of all the matches, this one was the one that kind of dulled me a little bit. I love Terry Taylor to death. Fabulous wrestler. But he was against Beefcake. And I didn't watch it as a hater of Beefcake. I watched it as a match. But it could have been anyone in that position, and it just bored me. Jimmy Hart looked fucking bored to tears as well, to be honest. I don't know what your thoughts and opinions are, but it was... I'm all for, those headlock matches that we spoke about before. Your Ric Flair and your Ricky Steamboats were a headlock match, but there was great high spots in between, and the headlock was worked all the way through, right? Yeah. This was Beefcake doing a headlock and just doing a headlock.
Yeah. Well, I've not
take over and held him there and didn't fucking move.
This is probably the match I wrote the least for, and all I've put for this is I'm a big fan of Terry Taylor, knee in the chops for the finish, okay match. That was it. But it was certainly the worst match on the card for me, because everything else I seem to write good match, great match, or whatever, you know what I mean, or a fun match. But I just put okay match, like it was just a match, wasn't it? Right.
This might have just been the booking that it was the one after, one after the interval when people are coming back in the room after buying beer and popcorn. You're not going to have a full room of people to work towards. So maybe put something on a bit slower to fucking introduce them back to wrestling. So it could have just been the booking, but to me, it was a bit of a fucking dull fest. It was knee to the chops finish. Beefcake was over. There was no haircut because there was no sleeper, was there? That was that really. I just said pretty headlocky and slow. More boots. Yeah. Oddly as well, this is the dullest match I've seen of the show, but it was probably the longest that we had, because some of these matches were kind of highlighted, like bits missing. Yeah, but we had the whole match of this bad boy. The next two were like the whole show was over. Don't get me wrong, but these two are probably the most over. Number 6 now, Jim Duggan versus Bastian Booger. Duggan was always great against big people, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Like fucking even going back to his Mid-South days and One Man Gang, and Duggan, Andre. He's always good with big people. Jake was the same, wasn't he? Jake the Snake, good against big people. Over as fuck Duggan with the USAs and the hose and shit. Fucking brilliant.
Yeah, I wrote the Germans were chanting USA. That's my first line of the fucking, my notes on this one.
It's very simple but full of heat. Simple fucking heel shit from Bastian Booger. Bastian Booger was a fucking veteran anyway. He knows the score. Nothing fucking spectacular. A bear hug replaced the chin lock. The chin in every other match, but there was a bear hug in this one. 10 punches, bang, bang, bang. Duggan's arguing with the referee. Fucking Bastian Booger heart punches him. And then Duggan slams him. Boom. Very, very Hogan Andre kind of finish. Yeah. And then the 3-point stance, and that's it. Very simple, but that's all you need, isn't it?
I actually I enjoyed this match, and I can understand if it's not like someone's cup of tea, but for me, there wasn't another match on the show like this. It was very slow, but I actually enjoyed it, and it was kind of my kind of match. Looking at the matches, it was possibly like my third favorite match on the card, third or fourth. It wasn't like anywhere near my least favorite. I enjoyed the match, to be honest. I really did.
What you couldn't expect anything else but slow from Duggan and Bastion Booger, but it was exactly what the show. It was over. That's all. The end result is how loud they're cheering, in my opinion.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it is.
And then 7, the main event: Yokozuna with Mr. Fuji versus Hulk Hogan with Jimmy Hart, the mouth of the South. Hogan fucks off Yoko early, so he gets his fucking poses in. Slim, isn't he? Slim here, Hogan.
Yeah. Yeah. He is. He could still go there by this point.
Oh, fuck. Oh, yeah, definitely. The cut-off really came after the slam attempt on Yoko. And then it was a very typical Hogan match from there, really. Like fucking heat on Hogan. I love Hogan, the fact that he sells for everybody. Like, it don't matter whether he's on with fucking Moondog Rex on TV or, Andre in the main event of WrestleMania. He puts everyone over with his selling.
Yeah.
And he didn't have to. He was the world champion of the world and possibly the most famous American wrestling name of all time. Jimmy Hart gets involved at some point. Big, long, fuck off chin lock. Now, this probably would have been a rest hold, in fairness, because Yoko probably would have been blowing out of his asshole. What's the finish? Oh, yeah, fucking 2 big boots from Hogan, weren't there? Boing, boing. And a leg drop. Fuji comes in, fucking disqualification, which I suppose it had to be because they couldn't put Hogan over because it's title, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, if Yoko's the champion. Obviously, they didn't want the title to change hands. Yeah. It was a Hogan match, really.
Yeah.
But, I've never faulted a Hogan match. I'm a massive fan of Hogan. Always will be. I wrote at the end of the whole thing after watching it, in probably less than a year, just imagine how much different WWF would be. Because 93, they weren't quite struggling as much as they were in 94, right? Am I right?
I'm not sure when the main, struggling was. It was around...
when they started doing fucking school gyms instead of arenas.
Yeah.
But, they lost Hogan. And in turn, that meant that they lost a lot of the WWF boys with them. Beefcake and Jimmy Hart, and in the end, the Nasty Boys as well. And Duggan, they all left to go there through Hogan. I don't think the Steiners were around for much longer.
No, they wouldn't have been.
Like I said, Duggan and Papa Shango were wrestling each other in Germany and Austria the year after. So that must have been just before Duggan went to WCW. So they lost Papa Shango as well. There was quite drastic changes in the cards. Yeah, they, it was the time that they were pushing lesser names. Well, not pushing them, but bringing them in, weren't they? When you had your fucking Salvatore Sincers and your fucking TL Hoppers.
Yeah.
Overall, fucking belting show, I thought. Really good.
Yeah, I put, my final notes, I've got 4 tiny little notes at the end. I've put great crowd, only one heel over. It had everything, quality show. That's literally how I ended it.
If I had to pick a bestest match of all, I would probably go for Papa Shango and Owen Hart. Yourself?
Yeah, that was up there. I love the opener as well. It's tricky to choose, but I think my top 3 the ones I personally enjoyed would be the opener with Tito and the masked guy, Owen and Papa, and Bastion, Booger and Duggan. I just really enjoyed that. They're the three that I would pick as my three favourites. Yeah.
Right, we'll keep them three and fuck that fucking Brewers off. Right, Friday is your tag pick of the Islanders.
Yeah.
Monday's your singles pick of Scott Norton.
John Nord.
I don't make the rules.
Scott Norton's a fucking good choice, though, to be fair.
Yeah. To be fair, I'm quite looking forward to having a look because you never know what you're going to find here. Novelties, isn't it?
Well, that's it. I'm going to pick 4 matches I ain't never seen before. So,
yeah. I have really studied a great deal of Scott Norton. You know, I've seen him in AWA and WCW and bits in Japan when he was on Eurosport. He used to tag with Hercules, Jurassic Powers or something.
Yeah,
I've seen bits. But next Wednesday, we're going to one of your favourite territories, 1985, Mid-South. And it was a show they called WrestleFest, which the majority of it was taped for TV in Japan, apparently. Right. The Dusty Rhodes and Ric Flair is it's not the last match, but it's kind of the main event.
Right, okay.
And that was taped for Japan, but not really shown at home. I don't know whether they brought it out on video or what, but yeah, quite looking forward to that because there's some good ones on it. Your friend from Eddie Sharkey, John Nord's on it, Al Perez, One Man Gang, Kamala, Dusty and Flair, Bill Watts in a tag.
All right.
So yeah, quite. I've always seen it on YouTube, and apparently it is on the network as well. But I've not looked. But either way, yeah, I've always seen it on there, but it's not something I've ever sat down and watched. So yeah, quite looking forward to.
Yeah,
but Friday's the Islanders. Who were heels and baby faces, so there'd be plenty to choose from there as well, wouldn't they? Like very different stylies and against different people.
Yeah.
So we'll see people on Friday for the Islanders. Later, Samos.